Hi and welcome to this week's lab. I'm Tony and I'm My Marketology's head marketologist. This week we'll be showing you how to master the art of writing subject lines for your email marketing. Subject lines are the gatekeepers to your email content and will ultimately dictate the success of your email campaigns. We all know how effective email marketing is as a marketing channel. It's only ever going to work though if people click through from your emails, or if they visit your website or contact your business directly as a result of receiving that email from you. So here are 8 easy steps to follow to master the art of creating effective subject lines. Write clearly, keep it simple, use powerful verbs, don't try to sell, don't recycle subject lines, use facts and stats, use personalisation, and be emotional. So let's look at each one in turn. So write clearly. This should be fairly self-explanatory. You don't have enough space in your subject line to use a lot of text. This means that you have to make your subject line clear and concise. Don't use jargon and always proofread your subject lines. Spelling errors and grammatical errors will affect your open rates negatively. Keep it simple, so don't overdo the copy or try to do too much with your subject lines. Keep them clear and concise as I've just mentioned. Let the content of your email do the legwork. The subject line is for getting the initial interest and to get people to open. It does also need to support the content though. Don't try to use the subject lines as clickbait. Between 8 and 10 words is probably best to start with, but test longer and shorter subject lines to find out what works best for your contacts. Use powerful verbs, so don't assume that your audience knows what you want them to do. This is just as true for subject lines as it is for call to actions on your landing pages and in your social media updates. Tell them what they need to do or exactly what they will need to do. That way there's no confusion and they're much more likely to do what you want them to do. Use words such as click, download, follow, build, find, receive, start, grow. You get the idea. So don't try to sell. Tell them what they're receiving. Don't try to sell them what's in the email. The subject line isn't the place to try and sell anything. You're looking to give the recipient a reason to why they should be opening the email, and that and only that. Don't recycle subject lines, so you can't use the same subject line multiple times and expect to get the same results. A formula is fine and could save you some time, but whatever you do, don't use the same subject lines more than once. Your contacts won't know that each mail is different if you use the same subject line. They just won't open them. There's nothing wrong with creating a formula for your subject lines, especially if you're sending an email series. Just ensure that your contacts know that they're receiving different emails and not the same one over and over again. Use facts and statistics. Now, people love facts and stats. They reinforce and offer credibility to the points that you're trying to make. Use them to trigger interest in your content, which will get you the open and then hopefully a click-through. Use personalisation. The relevancy to your contact of the subject line and content of your email campaign directly affects your open and click-through rates. The more personal and tailored to each individual contact that you make these elements, the greater the chances of them opening and clicking on your email. Try to use personalisation, even if it is just the name, in the subject line, and watch for your open rates increasing. Be emotional, so create a sense of urgency, make them curious, get them excited, make them happy. That's just a few of them, but these are the basic building blocks of copywriting, and believe it or not, when you're creating subject lines, you are actually copywriting. If your subject line can tick all of the previous boxes that I've mentioned, and can then also trigger an emotion in the recipient, you're onto a surefire winner. It doesn't and can't trigger all of these emotions in one go, so aim for the one that is in line with the content and objective of the email that you're sending. And here's a bonus tip for you. Create a swipe file for you to refer back to when creating your subject lines. If you receive any emails from friends, relatives, companies, etc. that have subject lines that you really like or that worked particularly well on you, keep a record of them. Over time, you'll build up a great resource of email subject lines that can be broken down into formulas or even just copied and then used in your own email marketing campaigns. So there you have it, all the advice that you'll need to be able to create ultra effective email subject lines that will increase the open rates of your email campaigns. In some cases, you might even see that your subject lines are so effective that people are going straight to your website or are contacting you directly rather than opening the email itself. Like any other approach to marketing, you'll only learn by experimenting, analysing and then optimising your subject lines. Doing so will ensure that you are constantly improving. Now, at My Marketology, we're always happy to answer any questions that you might have or to find out which topics you'd like us to cover in future lab videos. So please feel free to contact us on the social channels on screen or by emailing us at hello@mymarketology.com. Thank you for watching this week's lab. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.